after Nietzsche's declaration of the death of God, it opens the door to the postmodernism. And postmodernism is based on idea of relativism. And what is the relativism? Nietzsche said God is dead. So there is no absolute truth. So everything can be truth now. So this is a basic idea of relativism. So the only truth of relativism is individual perspective. For example, like if you think abortion is right, then it's right. And if I think abortion is wrong, and it could be wrong. So we can have a different view on same concept, but both one can be truth. This is the basic idea of relativism. It seems like respect other people's perspective, but it actually breaks the divine order of the world. So today I want to talk about the relativism versus the absolute truth. And this relativism is so quickly spread out, and the modern arts are based on this philosophy. So I will introduce some arts, modern arts, to you to explain what is the relativism is. What the relativism is. So Marcel Duchamp, he just sign on. He just sign on toilet and he just exhibit, and then he said this is art, and it cost $2 million. And also Tracy Emin, she just published her dirty bag, and it cost $3.77 million. And Kazimir Malevich, he painted black square, and then he published it, and it cost to today's more than $85 million. And some researchers want to figure it out what's behind over the painting and what is written in the painting and what was engraved on the painting. So they used some specific tool to figure it out. And then they found like a years ago or 2 years ago, the Battle of N-Word in Dark Cave. So this is like a true title of Black Square. And this is this cost $85 million. This is $85 million racism. And if I see this kind of arts, and I don't think these are art, and these are garbage, I believe, because I thought there are certain kind of archetype of art, because when we see the masterpiece of art, we cry out. When we look at Michelangelo's Pieta, some people, when they see Pieta, some people cry out because of the beauty and because of the wonder of the masterpiece. And some people see Starry Night of by Vincent van Gogh. They cried out because it's so wonderful and it is so beautiful. But who sees this kind of the modern art and then cry? No one cried out because of the beauty. And if we see the nature, sometimes we praise God because of the majesty of God, because we are Christian. But even unbelievers see the nature, and then they were so amazed by the nature, and then some people cried out because of the beauty. So art exhibit and explain the beauty, but I don't think there is a beauty on the modern art because the behind of the modern arts there are the relativism. So I want to talk about today's, first of all, why relativism is a satanic movement and how it impacts on people. And second, what is the goal of relativism? And third, and then how can we approach it to people who have those kind of thoughts? And also, how can we overcome relativism based on my testimony? So, first of all, why the relativism are a satanic movement? The reason is that because everything can be truth, so it leads to so many movements today. For example, like abortion, also I said everything can be truth. So like people have their own opinion. So woman declares that like this is my body and this is my baby. What's wrong with you? Why do you bother me? I mean, why do you interrupt me? Because I have my own decision and this is my baby. So they think they don't care about the life, but they care about their property. So they think their baby are their own baby. So therefore they think this is a property, their property. So they have a right to abort the baby. So these kind of things is based on relativism. And also when we look at LGBT community, so if I think I am woman, then I can go to the a woman's toilet and with the genital. So this kind of a movement, like behind over this kind of a movement, there is relativism. So everything can be truth. So you can be whatever you want. So it's my life, it's now or never. I just wanna live, I'm gonna live forever. I just wanna live or I'm alive. It's my life. So this kind of the songs, you are the owner of life, and you are. So this kind of the things, relativism, showing up and then raise up the desire of the person. So it actually leads narcissism today. So many people, they live their own life for their own desire rather than figure it out the absolute truth. So let me explain the absolute truth later. So that's why people are addicted to the drug, because they think they have a right on their body. And also people kill other people to make money because they think it's right. And so this kind of so many things, like a political correctness, and also right now America get rid of the prayer in the public school, and also in public in the name of Jesus Christ. They just get rid of in the name of Jesus because they think it respects other religions. But where is the faith from the beginning of this country? This country, this America, is built up by faith and Puritan, but right now we could not see this kind of the value anymore because of relativism. And relativism, so other can be truth. So it also leads to ecumenical movement. So right now Catholic try to explains that Francis Pope really said that other religions have salvations. So this is really against over the gospel. Jesus Christ said, "I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the way. There is no one go to my Father except through me." So it's and this relativism. It seems like respect other people. It seems like have a humanism, but it actually destroyed divine order of the world. So then what is the goal of relativism? Satan used this kind of relativism through the media, and then it changed people's mindset. So media shows very violent things to brainwash, and then to show their desire, and to to promote their desires. So many people follow the money in media, and then actually I think this kind of a thing actually spiritually impact on people. I believe that today's people have a different mindset with upper generation, so it really caused the conflict between the generation to generations. So the goal of the Satan, the thief comes to kill and destroy, steal and kill and destroy. So it's this kind of things is based on relativism. Satan used relativism to promote people's desire. So then, and what is the absolute truth, and how can we apply? How can we approach it to the people who have this kind of thoughts? And this is my testimony. My parents were divorced when I was 9 years old, and my father took me and he said, "Your mother threw you away." And at the time, I cried a lot, and then I was thinking about my life, what the purpose of my life is. 9 years old. And then I tried to figure it out, and then I believe that from the youth, I believe there would be absolute truth. If I find absolute truth, and I will live for it, and I will die for it. But I start to read so many philosophy books, more than 300 to 400 books, from to when I until I became high school student. But when I went to middle school, people outcast me because I have a weak body, and at the time my father's house lived very poor. So after that times, I wrote the people's names who beat me, and then my life is my purpose of life is revenge. Also, I have the purpose for revenge. So I know how to deal with handle with the poison too. So, but I couldn't kill the people because my conscience deny it. So, but everything, and also when I went to high school, at the times I read most of Western philosophy books and then Eastern philosophy books, and I concluded one thing, because they seems to write good things, good words, but they did not live like that way. And I concluded one thing: there is no absolute on philosophies, and people have all the kinds of the different idea, but there is no absolute truth. There is no peace in philosophy. And so one thing I concluded that people wear mask to hide their hypocrisy. And I asked high school my friends at the time 2012, before the 2012, I asked the question, there was a topic that what are you going to do if the meteor strike comes to the earth, and then you only have a 2 hour left. And then most of my friends, that was a men's high school, and then they answered like this: I will rape the beautiful woman in the street if I have only 2 hours left. And most of men agree with that. So I disdain them because I saw people's darkness, and also saw that I just concluded one thing. People are like animals, so the stronger ones survive. That is what I learned. There is only one lesson from the philosophy and from the world. If I see the world and then richer people lives very well, although they did like many illegal things. So money, power, and also authority, these kind of things. I mean, so after that times, I try to get rid of my conscience, and I know the like Freemason. I study about the Freemason a lot because I want to become one of them, and their end goal is really controlling all the people, because and also kill the most of the people so that they can control the people. So if people are like animals, I mean, what's the reason for living? I mean, so in my heart, I want to kill everyone because if you look at the world, it's so unfair. And like some like if I see the like a documentary on the TV, and then some people lives in poor country, and they had they gave a birth for their labor, and 8 years old like African American, they work in the mine to like feed their parents, and people don't give the money a lot to the young children, and they don't have the like insurance, and they don't have wealth, and so much people are suffered. And then I learned that life is suffering, and there is so much suffering, and then people lives like animals. And then the one conclusion is that if people are so bad, then the end will come, because if people are evil, then the third war will happen, and eventually people will disappear. And I want to accelerate that one. So if I become one of the member of the Freemason, I probably study about the biotechnology to make a combining virus to kill the people, like more than I believe that if I try to do it, I mean it's so hard to save the people, but it is easy to kill the people. So, but if I try to get rid of my conscience, but at the times, like some invisible rocks just oppressed my heart, and I couldn't breathe. So that's why really I did the most sin over the Bible, except homosexuality and murdering, and but like a one I killed the animals, and also to get rid of my conscience. Eventually in my thoughts I regarded people as animals, but I couldn't kill the people because of my conscience. And I have a thought about what is the conscience. I have a question about in my thoughts, what is the conscience? And then I thought there would be much opportunity in the United States rather than Korea. So that's why I came to study abroad in United States. And one of my friends just invite me to the Bible study. So that's why I went there, and then I said to the Bible teacher, I don't believe God. People are weak, that's why they believe God. And God is dead. And Socrates said, know yourself. But the Bible teachers politely said to me, just to sit and listen. And when I listen, and I think there is something. I never read about the Bible, and I was thinking about it. So I thought it could be truth. I think there is something over there. So I said to the Bible teacher, give me the Bible. I want to read it first. Very rude, but give me the Bible. I want to read it. And then after that times, I went home, and then I start to read John chapter John first. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was that has been made. In him was life, and the life was the light of man. So through him all men might. So through him the world was made. And the word. I forgot the Bible verse, but when I start to read the chapter 1, I couldn't stop crying. I don't know the reason, but I couldn't stop crying, and I know that this is the absolute truth. And because John chapter 1:12 says that, yet to all who receive him, to those who believe in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. At the time, I just noticed that people are called to be children of God, and at the time, I can see that Jesus Christ, I can see all my sins just 1 second, so from the beginning to what I have done before, and I cried out so much because at the time, I was so in deep darkness, and then why did you meet me now? This is what I said first time. If you meet me more earlier, I couldn't suffer. And because at the time, if I didn't meet Jesus Christ, I really do human sacrifice maybe, because to become a member of the Freemason. And I know I could probably do so many bad things in the future. So at the time, I really appreciated to God, and at the time, I realized that I am a children of God, and I figured out the absolute truth is Jesus Christ. And when I met Jesus Christ, he filled me, and then there is the power, John chapter 8, 32 says that you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. At the time, I felt freedom, because after that times, I don't need to be selfish anymore. Because if I died, and if I died on cross, and if I died for the Jesus Christ, then people can have the life. And that is the truth. Sacrificial love. His sacrificial love is so powerful to me. And then after I read all chapter John 1 to 21, and then after that times I cried out a lot, and I gave my life to the Lord, because at the times really I know the truth. And John chapter 16 verse 13 says that the Spirit of the truth comes, he will lead to all truth. So at the times he changed my heart. At the time I can feel the presence of the Lord and presence of the love. And at the time I confess that I love you, Lord. I love you, Jesus Christ. Thank you for saving me, and thank you for dying for me. And that after that times really I at the time I have always thought about revenge. At the time my heart is just to melt away, and then he did not come to me with righteous anger, but he came to me with love. So that's why he changed my hate to love. And one thing I really appreciate is I live like an animal before, but right now I really live like a man, live like a human. So that's why I gave thanks to God. And so that's why every philosophies, every addictions, at the time hatiness is just gone, but I addicted to the pornography, and I addict to the so many things. But after that times God changed my heart and moving toward we close to God, and then it's get lead over by step. So that's why when people meet Jesus Christ, when people meet the absolute truth, and it has the power to change it ideology and change the thoughts, and the words of God has the power. So Hebrew chapter 4 verse 13 says that like this. Verse 12 like this. For the word of God is living and active, sharper than any double-edged sword. It penetrates even to dividing soul and spirit, joint and marrow. It judges the thoughts and attitude of the heart. So that's why the word of God have the power to change people's heart. So when we preach the gospel, when we approach to the people who have a heart, then when they listen and then when they when they open to the heart to Christ, then Christ can change everything. The gospel has the power, and there is a righteousness of God is revealed, and it leads us to face. So that's why share your gospel. After like a pandemic, many people don't preach the gospel in the street because of the pandemic. But I believe that, so that's why like 30% of the people don't come to the church. But we need to keep preaching the gospel, not in the church, not only in the church, but also in the street. So share your absolute truth. Share your story with the people so that they can meet Jesus Christ personally. When they meet Jesus Christ, and then think about me, I have a thought about to kill everyone in the world, but He changed me to live for Him, and then and I will one day die for Him. So that's why the gospel has the power, and you are called to be the soldier of God, and if you don't preach the gospel, then how they could be saved and how they could be changed. So share your gospel and share your story, the absolute truth, Jesus Christ. When I accepted Jesus Christ, because of I know that He is the head of the church and head of me, so I have a no order, but He became my head, and then I have a divine order right now. So when we have the Jesus Christ, everything changed, and then relativism changed to follow the absolute truth. So share your story and preach the gospel. Thank you.